Upgrades.
All right, welcome back. Legends of Vox Machina, episode 10, the Killbox. Well, obviously season 2, but the Killbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a spoiler-filled episode, so go out and check the episode if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. I'm like, if you haven't noticed by now, yeah, we're not holding anything back. Yeah, so right now this episode is just bonkers to me.
Yeah, man, I'm shell-shocked.
this one was dope. So obviously last episode we leave with, Grog kind of challenging his uncle. And it left us on that cliffhanger. So, and this episode starts right back at it. So I guess initial thoughts, what did you think of this episode as a whole and just
I mean, I love seeing Vox Machina work together as like a huge team taking on a big threat.
Yeah.
And you get that in this episode in a big deal, but not before Grog gets to have like his huge like hero moment.
Literally huge.
Yeah, exactly. He comes at Kevdak. Like, I mean, the heart that Grog has to like go at his uncle like in this like weakened state it speaks volumes about his character and his willingness to stick to these new morals that he has. And Kevdak just wrecks him, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was blown away by how I guess I was blown away by two things. Just how much he was standing up to him, even though he was getting like destroyed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you felt the fight in him. Like
it's that Rocky thing. It's that like Captain America, I can do this all day thing.
Yeah, which was just the way they filmed, or not filmed, but like animated this episode was just phenomenal. Like there were so many cool, like just kind of like snapshot moments that they had.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's like obviously when they came, Grog and his uncle are basically fighting, and there's only one rule: they fight to the death, which I thought was very very barbarian like, which fit the cue. And it was getting brutal. At one point, like freaking Grog gets like speared through the freaking stomach, which I thought
there is a like a barricade, like one of those spike barricades.
Yeah.
And Kevdak just like shoves him onto one of the spikes. But like the way that they show it is so brutal because like it doesn't puncture him immediately, which is
like you just see it poking through the like on the skin and then it rips through.
Yeah, like you see it like through the skin for like a while and then it just rips through. Oh my god. I think I yelled the loudest when that happened. I was like, oh!
But then also that's when Grog finally sees the guy again for where does your power come from?
Oh yeah, the Earthbreaker, yeah.
Which is dope, that it kind of goes full circle. I still want more of that guy, but once he realizes that like his powers come from his friends, like dude bulks up. And dude,
we should say that the reason why this is happening is that like Scanlan, Pike, and even Kaylee have like come back to try to see if they can help Grog.
Yeah.
But Kevdak spots Pike and grabs her. Well, no, like not before one of the other Goliaths attacks her and just like hits her with like a tree trunk.
Dude, but like before that, when she like kills that one dude with her shield and kind of like like she's just all bloodied up too, and I was like, okay. I was like, Pike got it in her.
Yeah, man, she got a little barbarian in her. She's like a little monster.
But like that. This episode was just dope, and once and I think that's what caused the whole like Grog to do the whole, like my friends are my power, basically.
Yeah.
But I think the dope part is like obviously he he gets big again, smashes that log that's through his stomach, starts fighting his uncle again, and obviously his uncle still whoops up on him. Because his uncle,
how does he get to do that though?
well, and it's crazy because with the gauntlets, like he does this little like, Donkey Kong smash, and he becomes 3 times bigger.
Yeah,
and it's just like great.
Like the best.
Because
like last episode you were like, oh yeah man, like those knuckles glow and he gets stronger. I was like, oh, there's more than that, buddy. Just wait. Just wait.
I was not expecting that, which is cool though. Like it's definitely a neat feat, but I think it was so neat how even while his uncle is like beating him to a pulp, you kind of see a glimpse of like Vox Machina like jumping through the building tops.
Oh yeah, because we should mention that the rest of Vox Machina comes through the portal that Garmili made. It's 3 weeks later because of the way like time passes between the Fey realm and the material plane. They tell them that, or I guess Allura, or they get ported back to where Whitestone should be, but they don't see it.
Yeah.
Until Vax notices like some kind of weird trick of magic, like some kind of illusory barrier. And so they walk through this barrier and then they find Whitestone. You find out that like Allura and Gilmore have been like creating some kind of giant illusion to hide Whitestone from the dragons, which is ingenious. Love it. You even get a little bit of like that Gilmore snark where he's just like, like keeping this shield up is wreaking havoc on my complexion.
Yes.
I love Gilmore. He's like one of the best NPCs in the show.
He definitely, and it's nice because last season, like he was just one of those like not unsung hero, but someone who just came on ever so often, but every time he was on, like it was just pure amazing, like comedy. Like he just knew what to say and all that. And this season, it's almost like it's the same. Like anytime he's on, this episode he only had that line, but it's freaking hilarious because it fits him perfectly.
Allura scries, finds Grog Pike and Scanlan in Western, so that the Vox Machina knows to go there. So when he's fighting Kevdak, you see them like stealing through the shadows like ninjas. Yeah. And Percy's got that sniper rifle, and I'm like, oh baby, it's bad news. It's time. That's what he calls the rifle. For those of you guys who haven't seen the campaign, that rifle is called Bad News, which I love so much.
But it's like, I think the battle, which is crazy. Once Vox Machina actually like gets into the battle, it becomes like a full out war, and it's like it's insane. Like just how, and I think this is the part that you kind of alluded to, and I enjoy as well. Just seeing them work as a unit and just seeing how well like all of them kind of like intertwine within each other, like using their own, like their own abilities and all that. But yeah, that whole, like fight scene, a solid 5 minutes of just pure mayhem, which was like awesome.
As a big fan of X-Men, I love when people like combine their abilities to do something awesome. And you see this one moment where like Keyleth throws up this huge like briar wall, and a bunch of Goliaths jump on it to climb over it, and then Vex launches a bunch of flame arrows at it and just explodes in flames and just like burns up those guys in a firestorm. Oh, that was great. Like I love that because like Kevdak is like on top of Grog, and he's just like, and Grog is like, my strength comes from my friends. And he's like, he laughs. Kevdak laughs at him. And he's just like, well, they didn't do it. And then like, that's when Grog smiles. Well, that's because I also have more friends. And then that's when the rest of them jump in. I love that.
Well, that, and then just like there's certain parts like Vex when he's just kind of like almost like hopping through while stabbing people like over and over again. And then
dude, that one move with like the knife, and he just like shoves it into like a guy's like mouth like lengthwise, and it just like slices him that way. I was like, ah!
Well, you have that like brutal. There's so many like crazy kills here. So you have Grog also chopping off like his uncle's arm, and then his uncle literally ripping his arm off and beating
his own arm off, and then beating Grog with his own arm,
which I found
like
crazy. But then like you have his cousin, like his uncle's son, like jump in and help out for a minute, which is just
Yeah.
like mind-boggling because he's still like in handcuffs, and yet
Yeah.
he's still like risking to like, you know, for the betterment of all this. Like I think he understands what Grog did years ago now, finally, and he had the
Yeah.
courage to like stand up to him. But you know, they go through all this, and then finally, what ends up happening? Oh, Vex ends up releasing Trinket, grabbing Grog into that little like, I don't even know
Locket.
what you would call it. Yeah, the locket, throws it up, and he goes from 10 stories up with his battle
Yeah,
axe.
because
Just
like
like,
Vex is on the broom when she's doing this. She's flying. She
yeah,
flies up and then throws the locket in the air, releases Grog, and he's able to like, yeah, fall from like 100 feet up and just
yeah, and that
cleave
was,
his
and
uncle in two.
and it sounds terrible. I love that he didn't like that they didn't just do the typical like cut straight down the middle, you know, like from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
head.
You
It
get you
was
get
like,
like
yeah,
this.
like this diagonal. Oh, it was just, this
Yeah.
episode was just so dope. Like that battle scene was probably one of the better ones. But seeing them, you know, like as soon as the battle's over, obviously like Grog goes and picks up, you know, the gauntlets and puts them on. But I thought it was so neat how instantly, you know, Grog knows that he's not there to lead these people.
Yep.
Like, yes, he freed them and all that, but it was such a cool thing where, you know, his cousin was like, he looked at his cousin, he was like, we were almost brothers. Like we were like brothers at one point. And he's like, why are you in handcuffs? And he's like, well, I did what you did. Just instantly that, it was like that was enough for him to know, like, cool, this is it.
I can leave him
So
in good hands.
yeah, which I thought was dope. And then, you know, his cousin's like, oh, what are you gonna do now? He's like, I don't know, maybe kill a dragon, you
You
know?
want to help?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Get the whole herd in on it. You're gonna
which
need
is
it.
which is
It's a
gonna be,
dragon.
yeah, which is gonna be so dope. And you know, obviously from there, after a battle, what else is there to do but drink and, you know, have fun with it. And it was kind of neat seeing, which is it reminded me a lot of like when I played rugby, where like whenever you were done with the game, like you were friends with these people, even though you were
Yeah.
just beating the crap out of them. And Scandalin and one of the Goliaths, they were just kind of chatting. They're like, I almost killed you. And he's like, yeah, yeah, I know. I almost crapped my pants.
And it was like, me too.
Yeah. But you see like this camaraderie instantly,
Yeah.
which you know, it's a really like sweet thing, like just to actually see. But then you have like Scandalin, you know, singing along,
He's
and
playing with
then
Dr. Dranzel and his band.
yeah,
Scanlan does good with a band, man.
dude, he's top notch. But obviously he gets lured into the bedroom. Um and that's when major news drops, where who would have thunk it, but you know,
Kalia
the
strings him up like she's getting ready for some like light bondage.
yes. And little do we know, he so Scandalin's a dad. So the biggest gigolo out there is a father.
Yep.
Um well,
Kaylee's his daughter, and she's pissed that he left her mom and her just high and dry.
well, the part that I found funny was while he was getting tied up, he was looking at her, he's like, yeah, you can call me daddy.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. I heard that too, and I was like, oh man, that's very good.
Oh god, yeah. So I guess there is a reason they look somewhat alike. It's
Mm-hmm.
because they are related. And that's kind of how the episode ends. It's like that little cliffhanger like that, but it's it's going to be neat because I think you've kind of seen this underlying arc of Scandalin trying to, I guess, be better, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder with, I guess, with him now having a daughter, how that's going to change him. Because it's like, he could be a hoe all he wants, but now that he has a daughter, it's like, oh, like,
Yeah.
oh. So
Yeah.
it's,
Also, he almost like he was hitting on his daughter hardcore.
yeah. which is a little weird, a little old boyish, but yeah,
Maybe
no.
not quite as far as Old Boy.
So this is like this is just going crazy. So I think obviously we're down to 2 episodes, and I know we talked about it briefly as soon as this ended. Like, there's no way they're fighting the dragons like this season. Like, and if they do, I'm gonna be kind of annoyed in the sense that like you can't just spend 2 episodes fighting 4 ginormous dragons who have taken out half the world. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this out. I know this is already renewed for season 3, so I'm wondering if that's why, if this was really supposed to be, let's say, like a 24 arc episode thing, and this is almost like a midway point. So I wonder if it's going to, if this season will end right when like they're about to start battle with them or something, like just leaving us on a huge cliffhanger type of thing.
Sure.
But man, this is good. I definitely, I want to see how Scandalon's going to change, because I think in these final 2 episodes we're going to see a different, maybe a more adult like Scandalon. But
adult in the mature way, and not adult in the call me daddy, you tie me up way.
Yes. I do wonder how Grog's gonna be too, because now that he has like these gauntlets, like he's that much more powerful, and everyone who's kind of gotten one of these vestiges has kind of changed a little bit. Like Vax is obviously obviously I think his is just because he's more tied to the Raven Queen, but he's a little bit more, I guess, just detuned is kind of my thing. Like he's with the team, but he's not with the team at all times. But I think that's because the Raven Queen just kind of calls upon him whenever the heck she wants.
She did it during the party. I was like, oh, Vax can't be happy for too long.
Well, and also, like during the party, wasn't that when what's her name went up and asked him to
dance? Caleb asked him to dance, and he was too distracted by seeing the Raven Queen that he was like, no, maybe some other time.
Yeah, it's like she shot, and I was like, damn it. So I do wonder what's gonna happen there, like with that, because it's you have, she's been crushing on him for a while, and even like I think even her was it her dad in many episodes back where he was like, yeah, watch out for like make sure you take care of this one too, or something like that, where she got all blushy. But it's this is, I'm very intrigued how the heck they're gonna finish this off. Because even at the end, Percy was talking about how he needed like days to come up with this like elaborate contraption, and they were like, okay, we won't wake up at dawn and fight. We'll do it at noon. Like, giving him 3 extra hours. Like,
tomorrow we plan, which is great. That's a callback to, I think it's actually to campaign 2. Tomorrow we plan, but still, there's a great. Like I think the big thing is that they're gonna fight Umbrasyl clearly next episode, or at least prepare for Umbrasyl next episode. So they're gonna this season, I think, will end with them fighting Umbrasyl. But the real question for me is Anna Ripley gonna be there?
Touche.
Because she was hanging out with him when he came to collect the offering last episode. So I'm wondering if she will be there when Vox Machina is able to take on. Because like if she's coming for all the deliveries, she might be there.
Yeah. Well, and
which is gonna make Percy feel away for sure.
Well, yeah, and they still don't. No one knows that she's around.
That's true. Yeah. They just know. Well, they know she's out there somewhere because she escapes.
Yeah, but no one knows. No one knows she's rolling with dragons.
Yeah, rolling with dragons. I love that.
Which is going
rolling with dragons, the Anna Ripley story.
Yeah, which is gonna be. It is gonna be interesting once. I guess it'll be neat to see how Percy reacts to that. Yeah. But no, this is all good stuff here, man. Any parting thoughts? Because I'm still blown away by this. So
I would love to see more of like Percy, like John Wicking people with his guns, like because he's like doing a lot of like close quarter combat, like CQC stuff with his guns in this episode, and I would love to see more of that.
Yeah, I did love when that woman Goliath was coming towards him, and he just like quickly shoots off 2 rounds, and you see like a chunk of her shoulder missing, and she just keeps on walking, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I mean, they're all raging, so
yeah, it's awesome though. But shoot, this is episode 10, guys. I think this could be probably one of my favorite episodes, just because of like when they were battling, even the music, like that metal that that Scandalin was playing, like that was dope.
Oh, I do. Yeah. So one other thing, it just feels like as a DM, for Scanlan to be on like the Scanlan's hand the whole time, just like playing music, visually that's amazing. But as a player and as a DM, I was like, oh, you're just wasting it as a platform. You need to be like punching people with that thing or like blocking with that thing.
But no one could reach him. So
that's true. That's true. It was definitely giving him a platform so that he was free from harm. So that's probably good use.
But it was that whole, as soon as that music kicked in, because it's, I guess in my head sometimes when you see some of these battle scenes, like you play some music in your head, like hype up, and this was just perfect.
Yeah,
this was spot on. Like it's
a barbarian fight. It's gonna be like metal.
It's just mayhem happening. So no, this is awesome. But shoot, guys, as always, man, this is Jorge and Mike, and we'll see you here for episode 11. So stay tuned. This will be a good one. Don't forget to, as always, like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. What was your favorite kill of this episode?
Ooh, love that. Yeah, what's your favorite kill?
Yeah, what was your favorite kill? Because there were a lot for me. But yeah, drop that down. Let's start that conversation. Let's start that kill conversation in the bottom comments here. But other than that, guys, we'll definitely see you guys later. And until next time,
peace.